Whether it's Del Boy or Pop Larkin, Granville or Jack Frost, Sir David Jason has created some of Britain's television's most loved characters over the year.
Now he's pulling back the curtain to reveal more about his remarkable career. Very pleased to say Sir David Jason is right here with us on the sofa this morning.
Yes, good morning, good morning. How lovely to be with you.
Good morning. Can I just describe for the viewers watching this morning, you make an entrance. I was quite impressed. As you came into our studio a moment ago, you were saying hello to everyone. You know how to make an entrance. Would that be fair to say?
Well, no, it's just that I like to feel comfortable, but I like also, if you can, to make the people that you're with comfortable. And the great thing is really to be a little bit outrageous, so everybody puts them at their ease. It's a bit of fun. You know, I said good morning to the camera, and there was nobody except the camera that was there. The camera seemed to like it. There she is, yes.
You have had so many years on stage. You're going back on stage talking about your life. I'm thinking, is that just the happy place for Sir David Jason? There's a theatre, there's an audience in front of you. Let it happen.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting that you said that, because I'm so used to working with an audience, to an audience, and I did that with Open All Hours. We used to do a live show. But the main thing is that working with an audience in a studio, in a theatre, is what I grew up with. And I tell you what, it's the one thing that used to give me the big buzz, because one of the things that I've learned about, it came from a rather famous, well-known actor, Terry Scott. And he said to me once, many years ago, he said, "You can't teach comedy, but you can learn it." And for me, for a while, it was, I don't understand what he said. It took me a long time to work that out, you know, being a simple lad, what I am. But he's right. And what that meant was, every night in the theatre, over the years, I would develop what we call pieces of business, so that if the audience went a bit down, you know, quiet, and we're doing a comedy, because I used to work a lot in farces, and I would then think, this is not working, there's something missing here. I know, teacup, he's got a cup there. What I'll do is I'll get the sugar lumps, and I'm supposed to put them in your tea, like that, you see. What if I was talking to you and took the sugar lumps and missed the tea, the cup, and slowly they go all on the floor, or they go in a little pile. But what that would do is the audience would start to go, he can't put that, he's missing, and the audience would react, and that would be a piece of business that I invented because the audience was getting quiet. They were missing the laughs.
I feel like I'm having a mini masterclass right now.
Yeah. You are. But if you moved over here, I could go and sit next to Dark.
We can arrange for that to happen.
No, I don't want to put you under any sort of obligation or pressure.
It would be a pleasure. When you, before or even now, you came about your bit of business, how did you feel when the audience was lost or a bit quiet? Did you ever, do you ever get nervous? Do you ever think, oh, I'm losing this, this isn't going well? And how does that reflect upon kind of your confidence in the moment?
I think you're right. What you become aware of when you're working in the theatre every night, remember that you're doing it every night, week after week, and in order to keep your attention up, what happens is half your attention is with the other actors. The other half of your attention is out there in the audience. So it's like having a tentacle in the audience, and you're feeling it, which you're doing by hearing. And though I'm looking at you, half of my attention is over there with them, and I'm going, you're not liking this, are they? He's liking it, but they're not. And so
I can confirm that Tracy, by the way, who's behind the camera, is liking it. Just for your information, I know that. I know that for sure.
So when they're not liking it, how do you gravitate? How do you kind of... Do you try to win them back, or do you think, no, I know what I'm doing is right and I've got this?
No, you never know what you're doing is right, but there are reasons why their attention is drifting, and it's your job to bring them back, because that's what we're there for. We're there to entertain. We're not there for our own glamour, really. You're not.
Do you love it still?
I used to really. That was the only thing that... Well, what I would say is that what drove me was the passion. And I think that is what people... Some actors tend to forget that what drives you is the passion to do the acting, to hide yourself and create another person.
As I look at you, I'm seeing Del Boy looming large behind you.
Yeah, I can see one behind Marga.
So,
yeah.
will you indulge us a bit? There have been so many famous scenes for Only Fools and Only Fools and Horses over the years. So, this, I think, is known as the chandelier scene. We're going to have a look at it. Maybe we can chat afterwards.
Yeah, OK.
One more turn, Del.
Right. Now brace yourself, Rodney. Brace yourself.
I mean, it's agony watching it all over again, and a sheer delight. How did those scenes? There was a lot of business, I think, as you described, a lot of sort of stunts in a way to perform. But also, I've always wondered, how did you keep a straight face in those scenes? You know, when there's chaos, and even in the scenes where it's just the dialogue. Was there a problem with getting the giggles?
There were always a terrible problem. We were such a good team, and that means that all of the backstage crew and everybody, we were like a team together. And the thing about that clip that we've just seen is that you've got to imagine that we're up the ladder holding that blanket, and behind the camera, there's a whole group of people. They've come in from heaven knows where to watch this sequence, right? And out of the corner of our eye, you could see people on the floor on their knees, and they're standing up, all behind the camera, and there are people putting handkerchiefs in their mouths, going, because they've been told they're not to laugh because the sound is on, you know. So we're now standing up, and the camera's rolling, and you're out the corner of your eye, you could see all these people going... So you're thinking, I can't laugh, I mustn't laugh. And so what we did was that I put in that line, which was, brace yourself, Rodney, brace yourself, because there wasn't a line there. And really it was sort of telling Nick, keep control of yourself, love, because we start laughing, we've only got one chandelier, and it's one take wonder. Yeah. It was, but that was like me going, you see in the clips, a lot of clips about all the shows, there are times, so many times, when I can see it, that I was on the edge of going because the audience were laughing so much at something, and I knew this bit was what we were doing was funny, and to try and keep a straight face, because I would have done it a number of times and have laughed at rehearsals, and the director would go, yeah, all right, David, can you control yourself? That we're going to do a take in a minute. Could you just... Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but it's him, he's so funny. So then what would happen is eventually the director would say, for heaven's sake, we're working with amateurs here. He can't stop laughing. But just take it. And I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it. And so you see me many times going... But it was part of the fun. I've been so fortunate to work in a wonderful industry. There's making people laugh and making yourself laugh. Which, sorry, just to tell you quickly, I was working with Ronnie Barker, and we were in the rehearsal rooms at Acton, and we were doing a scene in Open All Hours, and he said, we left the set after doing a bit of funny business, and Ronnie stood next to me, and he looked at me and he went, you know, aren't we lucky? He said, we're getting paid very well to make ourselves laugh. And I thought, he's absolutely right. This is the great Ronnie Barker, that he was enjoying it. And we both agreed that if we couldn't enjoy it, the audience wouldn't. No. So that was the acts in which we sort of conducted ourselves.
How did you know? Because you've had various partnerships and relationships with co-stars, and how did you know when they would work?
Well, you get people like Charlie in the way, and then you can't...
Could have been you and me.
Yes. I'm sorry, Charlie. sorry about that.
Three's a crowd.
Yes. I'm sorry, you were saying.
How do you know? What makes you realise that it's going to work with another partner? It doesn't have to necessarily be comedic. Just, you know, someone you're acting with, or you just think, we've got something here, we've got some chemistry.
Yeah, that's a difficult one, because it doesn't happen very easily. That over the years, I've been very lucky and fortunate. I've always managed to work with nice people. But sometimes, on the odd occasion, there's someone who just believes more in themselves than they do with the audience, say, or the team, which is in your position. It's the camera crew, it's the sound, it's all those people that give you the opportunity to reach the audience that you enjoy and they enjoy you. And the ones that are like that, you have to work round. So you just go, I'll do it as best as I can, and if you're going to behave like that, okay, but I'm not joining in, meaning I'm not going to say, oh, he's getting very difficult, I'm sorry, can someone look after, what's his name? I don't know what his name is, but I should be sitting with the young lady who I do like. Yes.
Can I ask you,
yes.
I'm intrigued, given your kind of all the years in comedy, are there unlikely, I'm trying to think of sort of very famous, more recent comedy programmes that you've really liked? You know, we've had so many huge, like American comedies, for example. You think of things like Friends, or Cheers, or the British comedies as well, more recently, British comedies as well. Are there things that you've seen more recently that have gone, do you know, they've got it? Is there something that sparked you like that?
No, I can't say there is, but you mentioning Cheers, and I tell you what it is, then, today, what is lacking, what is missing, is there's Friends, which you've just mentioned, and Cheers, which is both American, we know.
And this is a long time ago.
Yes, yes, I suppose it is. But I'm used to seeing it quite recently. But the thing about that is that, A, the language is very clean. In other words, language is so important, because that's the way that you communicate. That is how you make jokes, and that is how we communicate as we know. To use that in a bad way, to me, proves nothing. And one of the things about that was that years ago, when I was doing a show, they said that the audience, excuse me, that the communication that you set up in comedy is that you've got to keep. If you have a scene that has got a lot of vulgar, rude language in, my attitude towards it was I did all the shows that I did, and we never swore, right? And what that meant was that if the script was good enough, you didn't need to do that. In other words, you can get all your points across, you can get the character across. I can be rude to you, and I could say, who do you think you are? I know, and I could do a scene with you and not swear at all, but the audience would go, "Oh, he's a nasty piece of work, isn't he? Poor old Charlie's getting his ear bit."
I was feeling it just then, by the way. It's definitely feeling it.
Yeah.
But I take your point that, you don't necessarily... something you veered away from.
Yes.
Language in comedy or whatever.
Well, we did that. I did that on purpose. And to tell you one little moment, if you come and see the show, you'd probably would recognise what I'm going to say to Charlie. No, I'm not going to advertise my show. That's what I'm here for, but I won't.
Yeah.
If allow you to do
We'll
that.
mention it at the end.
Come back to the anecdote. What was it you were going to say? A little story, were you?
Yes, I was, but it's naggers. I can't resist taking my eyes off her.
People are obviously in for an absolute treat because, as you say, that your life is, go right back to the Second World War and the stories, your upbringing and everything. So there's going to be an absolute treat for people, and they'll be finding out things about you clearly they don't know.
That's very true. So I'm not going to give anything away because I've been told not to.
Quite right. Quite right.
Do you always do as you're told?
Naga, please. Yes, I will. Certain people. Not you, Charlie.
Understood.
Good.
Understood.
Okay.
It's been lovely having you here this morning.
Thank you.
I can say everyone in the place has been delighted by your company.
Captivated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we won't watch you walk off stage, as it were, because that wouldn't be appropriate. So we'll say goodbye from here. Lovely to see you.
Thank you,
Thank
Charlie.
you very much.
And thank you, Naga. See you later.
Tickets for an evening with Sir David Jason are available now. Thank you very much.
You're a funny
Thank
man.
you, Charlie.
Find out what's happening wherever you are. We'll see you very shortly.